Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And this is my review on Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, Season 2, Episode 9, The Fall of Summer. And this is the finale. So we pretty much are done, except they're going to have this reunion. So wanted to do it live this time around just so we can kind of finish this up. I have a feeling the reunion is going to be quite juicy, especially with Andy and his messy behind, of course, hosting it. So let's get started. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. So we are back. Yes. We are back at Nick being honest with Bria, because that's what he's doing, being honest with her. Hey, Shayla, being honest with her. And of course, Bria is walking away, but still antagonizing the situation by saying, let it out, let it out. You know, again, just Bria is just not a likable person. She's not. She is just very rude, condescending. Like I said, she's a straight bitch. Like, I don't see the point of her being on this show. She holds no accountability. She's always taking things to another level. She's draining as hell. So then at that point, we see the bitch ass Amir literally saying, oh my gosh, I'm glad that Nick isn't mad at Natalie because he wouldn't be able to talk to my woman that way. Amir really thinks he's a macho man. And I don't know if he feels like he's a macho man in that house because, of course, Nick doesn't seem like to be a fighter, neither Preston nor Alex, but he truly acts like he's the macho man. Like, at the end of the day, just like with Bria, they both need to come across the right one, okay? And trust me, they will be humbled in a heartbeat. So Bria goes outside and is telling Simon that Nick is pretty much having, this attitude, and he's getting awarded for his bad behavior. And I'm like, Bria, it's always everyone else. It's always everyone else. Oh my gosh, she reminds me of somebody that I know. Whew. They would sit up there, be draining as hell, constantly push people's buttons, be selfish. And when someone just gives them a little bit of their own medicine, then all of a sudden, that person, not them, but that person is aggressive. Ugh, I tell you, that's why people like Bria, I almost can guarantee you, in my mind, Bria's only friends that really tolerate her are probably people on the show. Like, I don't see how someone could really deal with Bria unless they are just weak as hell and just willing to be her rug. Like, that's what it is. If you can sit up there and Bria, if you allow Bria to do whatever she want to do, that type of stuff, yeah, she has no problem. She has no problem being cool with you because you're a yes person. That's the only way I can see you dealing with a Bria. But moving on. So at that point, she also tells Simon the only reason why someone gets defensive like that is when they're guilty. And I said, well, if that's the case, Bria, you're guilty all the time because you wake up defended by everything. You're always on the defense. Like, what the hell are you talking about? And so at that point, I feel so bad for Nick. Alex tries to calm the situation down. Of course, Bria is still gaslighting the situation or whatever. And at that point, he's like, I don't play about my character. And I don't blame him. And he says in the confessional, like, when it comes to work, when it comes to my running crew, I have held myself to a certain standard. And I told you guys last week, I knew he was going to come across the whole work situation because, again, when you start using those certain words, that could really hinder someone's character, their career. So I don't blame Nick in this situation at all. And they were just so disrespectful towards him. So at that point, Summer says, I thought Jordan and I were the only ones who had those issues with Nick. And if he never touched you, then why are you trying to mess up his relationship? Good question. But I also question you and Jordan as well. I don't think you guys were innocent in the situation either. Point blank, period. Yeah, and that's the only thing I can give her, Shayla, is that she looks good in her confessionals when she got her makeup and all of that stuff on. But beauty is only skin deep. It like inside, she's a effed up individual from what we have seen on this show. I haven't seen not really that many good qualities in Bria. I don't. She truly acts like she's stuck in like high school or something. So, and another thing is, in my opinion, they cater to Bria too much. They cater to her, they coddle her. Like at this point, you shouldn't have to tell someone how to be an adult. Period. You shouldn't have to. And the moment that you don't want to coddle her, then all of a sudden she has an issue and she doesn't want to be your friend, or she's calling you out, your name. Bria needs to grow up. She has some serious issues. And like I said, until she tells us what are the deep-rooted issues that she has, I don't want to hear anything she has to say. I really don't. And the crazy part about it is she is truly one of the only like melanated girls on this show. Beautiful girl, but damn, you know what I'm saying? Like this is not a good look. So moving on. Nick, however, does decide that he's gonna swear up and down that everything is all good. Like Nick is better than me. He's like, look, I just want this squashed. He decides to squash it and he hugs it out. And I'm like, I'll be damned. You are way better than me. But that's true man behavior. Like real men, they not trying to keep that going. They're trying to, make sure that they can move on, move forward. They're not trying to hold on to anything. That's how real men act. So take notes, Amir. So with that, Amir and his Bria coming for Nick because her relationship's in shambles. That ain't no real relationship, but we gonna get into that later, Shayla. That is not a real relationship. And you guys, hello, welcome. Please hit the like button on your way in. So at this point, Amir, messy dog, Natalie, and Simon have to leave. Thank God Simon can get away from the demon, and thank God that half of the demon couple is leaving out of the house. So when they leave, Bria claims that Simon needs to listen like Milo, pretty much. He needs to just be a good puppy, be a good dog, or she will have to make a decision that she doesn't want to make. Bria, you're not leaving him. He's your ATM. You're not leaving him. And we're definitely going to talk about what she said later on. Just the blatant disrespect that she has for her relationship and that man. But then she wonders why people are willing to go off on her and don't respect her. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. Alex has this event. I guess this is his event this time around. And it's supposed to be, I guess, a showcase, a zen moment of him singing while they are painting. And everybody is in a comfortable outfit except for Bria. I don't know why the hell she wore that dress, that mini dress on the beach. Everybody else got on shorts, pants, but of course Bria has to be extra. And I agree with Shanice. That wasn't my vibe. Like all of that waves, waves, waves. Ooh yeah, waves, waves, waves. Dum dum diddy. I was like, what the hell? Like, why is it that every time we see you at least once or twice on every season singing? Isn't he apparently John Legend's cousin? Like, can't you just get a deal from him so we can stop all of these little solo acts that you do on the show? Like, this is just ridiculous at this point. Like, I don't know, y'all, but I was over it. I was like, and while he sings all of this waves, 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 they're painting, okay? And I guess they're supposed to paint what they're feeling while he continues to say waves, waves, waves all over. So, yeah, at that point, look, I'm all about painting, maybe like a sip and paint. You know how like the girls go out and do a sip and paint or a couple. As long as I got something to sip on, yeah, but not on the beach while listening to the same words over and over again. Hey, Support Gaming. So, yeah, now with that, I guess some of them liked the child. Some of them was talking about this is love that's coming down and this is positive light to dark energy and how we could go back and forth in life. I was like, oh boy. Okay, let's snap the fingers like we're in a poetry session, spoken word. Okay, all right, let's move on. So we finally have Summer, and gosh, look at this. Look what he looking in the camera. Like, what is this extra shit? Am I the only one who thought this was super extra? Gosh, Alex, like, just go get your deal. Speak to your cousin, allegedly, if that is your cousin, and let's stop. Let's just stop. So Summer finally starts to share, she finally shares with the cast that she's going through some things. We see like a clip of her talking about how it's very hard for her to rely on people because of all of the things that she experienced with her mother. And I'm happy to see that she's finally being vulnerable versus getting drunk. That's for sure. So when they get back from the beach, she tells Preston and Jordan that she's going home and she's not herself mentally and she's not there. And I was like, well, I kind of said that, but finally, I guess she realized it on the last episode, but she leaves. But all jokes aside, I am hoping her going home is not that she's continuing to suppress those feelings, that she actually gets help. Being around family is great, being around friends. And that's another thing too. She said being around friends, she needs to be around her family and friends. I thought these were your friends. I thought they were your friends, but you see how she said that? But seriously, I hope she gets actual professional help so she can really work through those inner demons and things that bother her and hinder her. So at that point, Amir and Nick go golfing, okay? And Amir's female energy comes out even more and tries to find out what the women said last night about Natalie to Nick. They told Nick the truth, that Natalie is the one who wanted to talk to Tasia. And this bitch of a man says, why are they involving Natalie? Because she's the one who wanted to be messy. That's why. Now, here's the thing. All of them were being messy, but she decided to take it to another level. Point blank, period. And so he says in the confessional that Natalie lives by girl code. Well, clearly so do you. You live by that girl code too. And he says that I'm sure her hands aren't all the way clean, but she isn't at fault. Okay, Amir. See, this is why at the end of the day, this is a true example that all people ain't your kin folks. Look, at the end of the day, they need to go. They need to go. Maybe they need to go to the other summer house. Like, because at this point, I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, Amir is a simp times 1,000. Summer makes the announcement that she's leaving. Bye, Summer. And I hope you do get the healing that you need. She talks to Bria and Shanice about leaving. And Bria, again, says, your energy that you had, it's not you. And you need to get a spiritual bath and cleanse. Bria, you need a cleanse too, like an exorcism. You need to straight up get like the demons out of you. You need it as well. So who are you to sit up there and tell someone that they need a cleanse? Baby, you need a cleanse. And so while Summer is saying goodbye, she does ask about Noelle. And they said they didn't know where Noelle was. But Jasmine texts Noelle saying, hey, Summer's about to leave. Are you going to come down? And Noelle said no. Was it a little petty that Noelle did that? Maybe some will say that it's petty, but because of what she went through and how she felt uncomfortable and how Summer literally lost her mind that night when she was drunk, I could see why she could be like, bye, like you are really going to have to come to me. And in all honesty, Summer should have been the bigger person to actually find Noelle and say her goodbyes, but she didn't. Because the next thing we see is, of course, Bria saying, well, hey, did she come and talk to you? And Noelle is like, no. But before Bria can start talking her nonsense, next thing you know, Milo disappears. And then literally we are searching for Milo. And you know what's so crazy is that with all of the drama that Bria has in that household, all of them, including production, all took time to look for Milo. If you ask me, it's because they love Milo more than they love Bria. Because I can't stand Bria, but if somebody said Milo was missing, I would go look too. Because Milo is a great dog. Bria, you are not a great human being. Even Nick gets up to go try to find Milo. Milo comes back on his own. I'm telling you, Milo said, I need a break from you, bitch. I know you my mama and all, but you are insane in the membrane and I need a break. So I'm going to take that break. Now, apparently he went into the woods, but in all honesty, I'm glad he was okay because, you know, there could have been anything in the woods waiting for Milo. Milo ain't no big dog. So he comes back or whatever the case may be. She was about to cry. Whatever, Bria. So moving on. And so at that point, the girls are cooking dinner and more hell breaks loose. But it starts off with Amir just staring at them, this passive aggressive stare that he's given to the point where they're like, what's going on with you? And he's like, I'm just trying to process everything that's been going on. I just want to know why wasn't I included downstairs if the conversation was about Natalie and she wasn't there to speak her piece. Yes, I am Lisa, trying to escape times 10. I don't watch the show, but I'm here to check out the stream. Aw, support gaming. You so sweet. Thank you. You cooking and listen. That's what I'm talking about. Natalie is coming for a spot on the show. If she's on the show, they need to get rid of Amir, which means no Natalie, and Bria. Yes, he was. He needed a break from her. He was like, get away from me with all of this. So he's like, why wasn't I included or whatever when she wasn't there to speak her piece? Well, guess what? If your little sorry dog, Natalie, she had plenty of time when she was sitting there like a deer in headlights, kind of smirking when all of that stuff was going down. She had opportunity then to speak her piece, but she didn't. But in all honesty, so did the other girls. Noelle, Shanice, and Bria also had their moment to speak their piece. They're all passive aggressive. Because let me tell you something. If somebody went back and was going off girl code and was trying to be messy and they was in a room not saying nothing, I would have said, Natalie, why don't you speak up? Why did you sit up there and go to Tasia? None of us told you to go to Tasia. That was a conversation amongst us. That's what I would have said, but they were being passive aggressive with her and she was passive aggressive with them. But if Natalie didn't speak on it, you as a man shouldn't be confronting any women about why weren't you included in the conversation. But that's my take on it. So honestly, when he started that nonsense, I would have just walked away from his weak ass. And even Shanice is like, this is done. Like, why are we still talking about this? And he's like, no, it's not done. Sorry, I had to do a little screenshot of little Milo coming back. Milo, yes. Milo, I feel sorry for you, baby. I really do. So he's like, no, it's not done. It's not done. And I'm like, you have such female messy scallywag energy, just like your girl. I guess you do really belong together, but guess what? You should have just called your girl and she could have spoke to them. Since she wasn't bold enough to speak to them in their faces, she could have said something on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have said something on the phone. Natalie knew what she was doing, even though no one asked her to get involved. Right. Well, they pretty much had a conversation that she started. She started that conversation. They were being messy discussing it. But when she said, I can bring it to Tasia's, I can bring it to Tasia and tell her, that you guys want to talk to her or whatever the case may be. None of them said, yeah, let's do that. None of them said that. She decided to do that. She's fake as hell. And she is not Tasia's friend. That is not friendship the way that she got down. I don't care what she says. So, of course, Bria takes it to the next level. And while she is actually making this meat, which, by the way, kind of looked good, a little overcooked for me, a little too well done for me. But Bria is sitting up there escalating, getting more riled up while she is pointing a pokey at Amir. Now, I understand he wasn't close, but I'm really big on when you are in the kitchen and you using utensils and stuff like that, keep them to the food. Don't start pointing them all over the place. And that's what she was doing. So she literally was like, oh my gosh, like she takes it to the next level, of course. And then all of a sudden, Jasmine says, Bria, count to 10. And I said, oh gosh, you have to tell a grown woman to calm down by telling her to count to 10. And she literally counts 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And Nick is like, you are really counting to 10? Like, how old are you? And Bria was like, I'm 10. And I said, well, you finally got something right, Bria. Yeah, you do act like a 10-year-old. But then she finally says something that I've been saying, as you know, if you've been listening to my videos since the beginning. She calls Nick Urkel. Oh, I said, damn it, that heifer been watching my videos, huh? She said Urkel, and he kind of gave this look like, did she just call me Urkel? Baby, you do give Urkel vibes. I mean, I'm sorry. You do give Urkel vibes. And I said, damn, I started laughing. But the problem is, Bria and I agreed on something. And that's what became problematic for me. There was something that I agreed with Bria, or Bria agreed with me, because I've been saying that from the beginning. But I say it for jokes. She was saying to try to be insulting in the moment. But yeah, I said, oh shit. Bria said something that, I was like, because we damn sure ain't alike. So at that point, while they're talking, Amir is like, well, I'm just trying to talk to you guys about it. Bria continues to scream. Amir has enough. And he's like, stop yelling at me. And my whole thing is, yes, in a normal situation, I would be like, Bria, I'm so sick and tired of you yelling. But I felt like Amir deserved the high-pitched bullshit that was coming his way. I hope it pierced his eardrum, because he deserved it. Because at the end of the day, that was not a conversation that a man should get involved with 3 females, period. Like, I understand you trying to stand up for your woman, but there's a way to stand up for your woman and still stand in your manhood. But who taught Amir how to be a man? That's the biggest question in this situation. Some men don't know how to stand in their manhood. They don't even know what that means. So some of them go bike riding, and Alex has to tell Amir it wasn't cool to be fighting and talking to a woman like that. And, he's like, well, I agree, but respect goes both ways. And I'm like, yeah, but you initiated the conversation. You initiated that conversation. So at the end of the day, you already know how Bria is. If you wanted to get to the bottom of things, you tell Natalie. Natalie can call the girls, or maybe at the reunion they can speak about it. But you don't question women about that situation. At least that's my opinion. Y'all can let me know what you think. I felt like Amir crossed the line and was trying to be super saver, messy, scallywag hoe Natalie. He crossed the line talking to them. Because at the end of the day, he wasn't even really talking when they were all in the kitchen together. Natalie wasn't even talking. So now you want to say something? Get the hell up out of here. So Bria, Jordan, and Noelle, they talk about where they can find their next ATM victim, ATM Bank of America, Wells Fargo victim. And they talk about soulmates. And Jordan asks Bria if Simon is her soulmate. This heifer says no. Her soulmate lives in Tribeca. And then people wonder why a lot of us don't like Bria. She's showing her true colors. She couldn't even hide the fact that she don't even rock with Simon like that. And then she asks production when she's in her confessional if they're going to put that part in the show. And she says she's not going to speak on the Tribeca guy. And then she says, I probably will marry Simon, but, as far as a soulmate, how I feel like a soulmate should feel. No, we don't have that. So you're using him. You're using him because of the monetary gain and the fact that you can control him. He's your lapdog. Simon, if you don't get the hint that you need to leave this bitch alone, I don't know what is. Leave her alone. She does not love you. She likes the fact that you tolerate her nonsense. Let me see what you're saying. I saw an interview person did, and he said that scene was longer than what was shown. And he said Amir started yelling at Bria first. I believe it. Because he has that feminine energy. He got that female energy. But again, at the same time, Bria, because of her always taking stuff to the next level, like I don't get Bria. Like, and for those who are team Bria for reasons besides her being pretty, please let me know what attracts you about, like, what is attractive about Bria, because she brings nothing to the show but truly bitch shit, in my opinion. But I could see him screaming at her. But again, also, I didn't like the fact that she kept pointing that pokey towards him. I didn't like that. If you get that hyper when you talk, put the utensils down. Because to me, I would be like, ma'am, you need to put that down quickly. But I could see him screaming at her. And I could see her taking it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see her taking to the next level like we saw here. Of course, with editing, they will edit certain things to make it seem like, someone is more innocent than the other. But one thing about Bria, she keeps giving what she's giving. If you don't give it to them, they cannot edit it to make it seem like you always the crazy bad bitch who literally always has to scream and be a brat when she doesn't get her way. I don't see it for Bria. Yeah, nothing. She seems entitled. Yes, that's why I said I need to know what her background is, because she is insane. And then when she said that about how her soulmate is in Tribeca, in other words, it almost sounds like if that guy in Tribeca wanted her, because he probably has more money than Simon, she would drop Simon to go with him. Bria, look, it is what it is, but there is nothing about her that has me hold on to Bria. Bria is apparently an entrepreneur in the fashion world. We haven't even seen her talk about her fashions or anything. All we see is her always screaming and acting batshit crazy. So that's why I'm like, what is the point of her being on the show? She brings nothing, absolutely nothing. So moving on. Yes, overcooked, well done. So they have the dinner on the beach. And before they get to the beach, sidebar, did y'all see how Jasmine was helping Preston carry that heavy cooler down the stairs to the car? Where were the other men at? She's pregnant. I don't like seeing stuff like that. And maybe she volunteered, but no, she's pregnant. You get one of those men to help out. Point blank, period. But when they have dinner on the beach, they do this impersonation game, which I thought was actually cute. Amir apologizes to Bria for it, but he says, I apologize for meeting you at your level. I believe that's what the apology was. That's not an apology, you idiot. I apologize for yelling at you and meeting you at your level. Really? Told you. Female energy. And then Bria says, I apologize as well for yelling at you. I don't like to argue. Child, I'm starting to think that Bria needs some medication. Like, real talk. And I'm all about mental health over here, but I'm starting to think that how can you say you don't like to argue when almost in every freaking episode you're arguing? Like, seriously, yeah, that was actually almost the most lighthearted thing they had this season. I was laughing, especially when Alex impersonated Preston. When he was like, are you going to cry? Are you going to cry? I thought that was hilarious. I started laughing. I thought that was cute. That was a very cute, lighthearted scene. So at that point, Next thing you know, and y'all help me understand if I heard this correctly, when they start doing their apologies, Jordan says, I'm not sorry because I have constantly kept thinking about that, backtracking what I did wrong in my mind. So I just want to focus on doing what's right. Did I hear that correctly? Was that in a nutshell what she said? I said, what the hell is she talking about? She pretty much said, I'm not sorry because I've constantly been thinking about the things I've done wrong in my mind. So instead of focusing on what I did wrong, focus on what I can do right. Bitch, what the hell are you talking about, Jordan? If that ain't no narcissistic ass response, I don't know what is. How do you say you not sorry and you just want to focus on what's doing right? No, for you to focus, before you can start focusing on doing the right things, you need to apologize for the things you did wrong. I was mind blown when I said, well, wait a minute. I haven't had no wine today. I haven't had no type of liquor. Maybe I'm like, and you know, I don't smoke. I didn't know if I heard that correctly. And I was just like, and they're accepting of this? Like, why does Jordan get away with saying some ignorant stuff like that? I was just like, okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, we all heard the same thing. Hey, Southern Belle, we all heard the same thing. I was just like, what kind of shit is that? Jordan, like, you are truly a snob. You to me, all of them, besides Noelle, and I would even say besides Shanice, all of these girls have an issue with accountability. They are always making it about themselves. If they do apologize, it's never sincere because they don't change their behavior. You know what this gives me? I feel like a lot of these girls were girls who probably grew up in environments where they were like the only Black girl. I truly think that's what we're dealing with, maybe. If you guys understand what I'm saying, like, they're culturally, I don't think a lot of them have really been around a lot of women like them. They're giving me vibes, not all of them, but they're giving me vibes that they truly were like maybe the only Black girl amongst their crew of people that they grew up around. That's what they're giving me. And they don't have a lot of the social cues and things that typically come with sometimes you dealing with your own people often. Am I making sense? That's the vibes that they're giving me, because it's like something's not clicking. It's not clicking. And then when they come together, it's almost like they can't handle all the Blackness in one room. I don't know. Then you have people who are here like Amir, who's biracial, and he's never, from my understanding, even known his Black side of the family. I don't know what Shanice's background is. I know she's biracial. She talked about her mom, but I don't think she talked about her dad. So you have two biracial people on here who maybe haven't even had those social cues from their Black side of the family. So yeah, this is probably what we're experiencing, and they don't know how to balance things out. The ones that do are Noelle, and Noelle grew up in Atlanta, which Atlanta is majority still African American. And she's also in a sorority, an African American sorority. So same thing with Preston, same thing with Nick. So yeah, I just feel like they don't understand the cues of kind of what we do in our community, if that makes sense. You can see that, Lisa? You can see that, Lisa? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And yes, they accepted that from Jordan. Yeah, I don't get, what is it? What are you doing? Shayla, Shayla, you talk about that social cue. You a mess. But yeah, I just feel like so they don't get it. They don't get it. They grew up in a very entitled environment. And I like, but entitled, but still not bougie. They're definitely not upper middle class. A lot of them are not a part of the black bourgeoisie as much as they act like they want to be. They're not. They probably just started getting there with having money on this show and maybe some other things that they were doing. But yeah, they do not definitely give me black bourgeoisie at all. So at that point, they're packing up, and every season I feel like there's a shift in who I like and don't like. I must say this season, Jasmine didn't annoy me as much as she did the first season. And I think that has a lot to do with Silas. I really do. You know what I mean? I really feel like that has a lot to do with Silas. She really did not annoy me that much. And we can definitely tell she was the one who pitched this show to Bravo because it starts with her, it ends with her. Because when she was in the confessional, sitting down talking about that summer, all of them came in. She's definitely the one who pitched the show. The show is revolved around her. That is for sure. And so they leave, and next thing you know, we see Jasmine. She's in labor, about to have her baby. And the next thing you know, they show her in the hospital with her little son. And I thought that was so cute until Silas came in. And she begins to cry. And I would have cried too if I saw Silas, but not for the reasons that she probably cried. I think those was happy tears for her. Those would have been fearful tears for me. Like, why the hell are you here? Go back to freaking Europe. You're probably about to have your son on drill sergeant mode immediately. Do you want him to iron your pants and make your eggs and bacon in the morning just like Jasmine? I don't know. And the fact that it's a boy, I am hoping that he does not teach that son the same type of macho man freaking vibes that he has. Like, I hope it's not going to be a situation where it's going to be the son and Silas against Jasmine. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. But then the episode goes off, you guys. What do I rank this season? And you guys hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I rated a C plus. There were definitely, hell no. You being funny, right, Shayla? I ain't never liked that man. Not the way he was talking to her and treating her. Absolutely not. He gave bitch assness too. And the fact when he was like, I promise you, if you feel like you could talk to me that way, that protection that you have in a marriage will disappear. He said something like that. Hell no, I don't like that man. Absolutely not. Yeah, okay. I thought you'd be, because I done expressed that so many times. I can't stand Silas. I give it a C plus because there was definitely times where I was just like, you guys, I can't do it. Hi, KP the G. Hello, look at you, girl. All right, come on, face. Give it, serve. Are you new here? Welcome. Yeah, I would give it a C plus. There were definitely times where you guys know I couldn't give you guys a review because I was just like, I'm over this. Like, all they continue to do is scream and yell, and there's no substance in what the hell they're talking about. I felt like there were so many things that they needed to cover that they didn't. One, I really feel like we should have focused more on Preston a little bit more. Maybe even Preston talking about his father passing with his partner. Like, they didn't really even cover the partner that much. Other things that I feel like, again, we need to get into more details about some of these people's passes. Like, who are they? Like, I feel like we still are on the surface of things, and I don't know if they just don't want to get deep, but I feel like that will explain why some people are the way that they are. Jordan works my nerves, but at least we know some of her issues in regards to her losing her mom early and always being worried about time, having alopecia. She has a lot of stuff going on, and she also has a bad attitude and needs to work on her being a narcissist, not giving no apology and stuff like that. But I definitely want to dig in deeper. I honestly feel Noelle was a great addition to this show. Another thing. What happened to that light-skinned guy from the first season? What was his name? Jason, John? What was his name, y'all? Jason or John? Noelle and him would actually make a cute couple. Don't y'all think? What was that guy's name? I think they would make a cute couple. They need to bring different men on this show and not Philip's ass. Jason, yes. Wouldn't Jason and Noelle make a cute couple, you guys? They should have had him on this season so Noelle could possibly, have someone besides the F-boy Alex. And I don't care what anybody say. He still give me F-boy energy. But they definitely need to bring different men on the show. Different men who are single, on the show. I truly think that would be quite interesting to have, different guys on the show. Yeah, they need more singles. They do. They need more singles. Like, it should not just be Alex being the only one. Because, ew, no. Yes, they should have brought Jason back. I don't know why Jason didn't come back, but they should have brought Jason back. Jason probably, when Noelle came in, I don't even know if Noelle would have been into Alex or if she would have been, because I feel like Jason, what he brought last year and Noelle's energy, I think their energy would have matched versus Alex. And especially because that was a messy, sticky situation in the first place because of Alex and Summer. So yeah, they definitely need to have more single men. They do. So then that way Shanice can play, Noelle can play, Jordan can play. I would actually like to see Jordan be interested in a guy. Maybe that's what she need. I hate to say it, but maybe she need a man to wear her out so she can relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying, because I can hear somebody now saying, oh my gosh, why does it have to be about freaky tales or having a man to make a woman happy? I ain't saying that. I'm just saying sometimes you need to release some energy, okay? Sometimes you need to release some energy and you can kind of reset. That's all I'm saying. So maybe she kind of needs something like that to be able to, I don't know, ease up just a little bit. Because I couldn't believe she made that comment that she not sorry. And she just going to try to be right from now on and do the right things from now on. I said, well, that is the most ignorant thing to say. So, yeah, but yeah, I would give it a C+. What else do I want to see? I think that's it. Honestly, I would like for them to take a trip next year. Maybe they start off at Martha's Vineyard and then like in between, like within the 2 weeks, they take a trip somewhere else. Like Miami or, California or something. They didn't seem to mingle that much this season either because Bria or Summer kept. Thank you, KP to G. Thank you. And I think that was my issue, is that there was constantly vibes being ruined. The only time it wasn't ruined was the dinner at the end, the finale. And I'm one of those people where I don't know about y'all, but the whole point of reality TV, yes, we like the messy, but we also like a balance. And to me, this season didn't really give a balance. And if I've had a stressful day at work, I don't want to come and watch an episode of constant screaming and bullshit back and forth. Like, it was like, what's the point of this? So yeah, I definitely agree with that. They kept doing that. And I was just like, why? Everybody needs love, weren't put on this earth to be on. Thank you. But some people, child, they get into in the comments and get into their little feelings. Why a woman gotta have a man? It's like, shut up. I'm just giving you examples of why some of these girls may have the issues that they have. We got one girl who's clearly miserable in her relationship, but she's using him for monetary gain, in my opinion. Bria. You got another one, Noelle, who literally, at least she was honest, she said she is looking for a daddy in a man. So yeah, they definitely, got they things going on that can make them be a little crab in a barrel, if you know what I mean. It is what it is. Clock it. KP, I hope you have subscribed, girl, because I definitely would like for you, because I'm sure, let me tell y'all something. I think the reunion is going to be juicy. I think the reunion is going to be juicier than the actual season. What do y'all think? Y'all think that? I think it's about to be juicy. I think all the things that went on, the things that were said, Bria hopefully being held accountable for the things that she said. Yeah, I think it's about to get real juicy. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys for coming to my live review on Summer House Martha's Vineyard finale. We will definitely tune in next week for the reunion. I hope they don't do a 3-part reunion because I definitely think that's a little too much, in my opinion. 3 parts for Summer House? Absolutely not. I would even say 2 parts would be insane, but I give it just 2. I ain't gonna be doing no 3 reunion recaps. Yes, I've been seeing your videos a lot lately. I really like your perspective on things. Oh, thank you, KP. Yes, girl, we try to keep positive vibes over here. And again, if you have a difference of opinion, I love to hear difference of opinions. As long as we're respectful of each other, that's all that matters to me. Great review as always. Thank you. Yes, good night, you guys. So with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.